Chosen one. Why does your chest feel heavy tonight? Why can't you shake the feeling that something massive is about to crack wide open in your life? And why, after all these years of praying, fighting, and barely holding on, does September 23rd keep echoing in your spirit like a drum you can't silence? Listen to me carefully. What I'm about to tell you will shatter every lie you've believed about your timing, your worthiness, and your future. September 23rd is not just another date on your calendar. It's a divine ambush, a holy interruption, a prophetic collision between heaven's plan and your breaking point. This is the day eternity has circled in blood-red ink with your name written across it. You didn't stumble onto this message by accident. Your spirit was summoned here. Right now, at this exact moment, angels are positioning themselves around your life because what's about to be released on September 23rd will change everything: your finances, your family, your future, your very identity. But here's what hell doesn't want you to know. You're not late. You're not forgotten. You're not disqualified by your age, your mistakes, or your bank account. You are precisely on time for the greatest reversal of your entire existence. Before I go deeper, and I'm going deep tonight, I want to pause and thank every single one of you who has supported this message through Super Thanks. Your generosity means more than you know. You're not just donating, you're helping spread light to others who feel alone in their calling. Whether you give or not, I'm deeply grateful for your presence here. Your support, your time, your attention, it all matters. And if this message resonates with your soul, go ahead and let the Spirit lead your heart. Now, chosen one, I need you to do something that will seal this moment in the heavenly realms. Type breakthrough in the comments right now. Not later, not when you feel like it. Right now, because that single word is your covenant declaration to heaven that you're ready to receive what's been held back from you for decades. September 23rd is a door disguised as a number, a checkpoint in eternity where heaven itself will meet you. It's the day your wilderness ends and your promised land begins. It's the day your tears are converted into testimony, your pain into power, your waiting into wealth. Stay with me until the very end of this message. Don't you dare scroll away, because the revelation I'm about to release will unfold like dominoes. Once you understand what heaven has been orchestrating behind the scenes of your suffering, you'll never see yourself the same way again. The countdown has started. September 23rd is coming, and you, beloved, are about to walk through a door that will slam shut behind you, sealing your old life in the past forever. Are you ready for the truth about your unstoppable breakthrough? How many times have you whispered into the darkness, "Lord, did you forget me?" How many decades have you carried prayers that feel like stones in your chest? How many mornings have you opened your eyes, wondering if today finally would be the day heaven remembers your name? Beloved, I know you. I see you. 70 years old and still waiting for the promise. 85 and wondering if your season expired while you were busy surviving. 92 and feeling like maybe, just maybe, you misheard God's voice all those years ago. You've buried friends who seemed more faithful. You've watched younger generations step into blessings you've been praying for since before they were born. You've sat in that same chair, in that same house, staring at the same walls, whispering the same prayers until your voice grew hoarse and your hope grew thin. The world calls it patience, but you know better. This isn't patience anymore. This is endurance. This is waking up every single day and choosing to believe when everything around you screams that belief is foolish at your age. Scripture tells us in Psalm 37:25, "I was young and now I am old, yet I have never seen the righteous forsaken." But sitting in your living room tonight, that verse feels like sandpaper on an open wound, doesn't it? Because you feel forsaken, you feel forgotten. You feel like God circled everyone's name but yours. Let me tell you something that's going to crack open everything you thought you knew about your waiting. You thought you were buried, but heaven says you were planted. Every year you've aged wasn't time wasted, it was roots going deeper. Every tear you've cried wasn't evidence of abandonment, it was watering the seed of your destiny. Every closed door wasn't rejection, it was redirection, protecting you from blessings you weren't yet ready to steward. What if the waiting wasn't punishment but positioning? What if God wasn't withholding from you but preparing you for something so massive that He needed decades to build your capacity to contain it? Think about Abraham, 75 when God called him, 100 when Isaac was born, 25 years of waiting, 25 years of Sarah's laughter turning bitter, 25 years of wondering if they'd misheard the promise. But here's what breaks me open. The delay wasn't divine forgetfulness, it was divine trust. God was saying, I need you old enough to know this isn't about your strength. I need you weathered enough to understand that miracles don't come from human effort, they come from supernatural intervention. Your age isn't your disqualification, chosen one, it's your credential. Your wrinkles aren't marks of defeat, they're certificates of endurance. Your grey hair isn't a sign that time ran out, it's a crown proving you outlasted every weapon formed against you. The enemy wanted you dead at 40, broken at 50, bitter at 60. But here you are, still breathing, still believing, still standing. Type I'm still standing in the comments if you've survived what should have destroyed you. Because September 23rd isn't coming to reward your strength. It's coming to reveal that your weakness was exactly what heaven needed to demonstrate His power. But there's something about this specific date that unlocks everything. Listen to me, chosen one. September 23rd is not a date circled on your kitchen calendar between doctor's appointments and grandchildren's birthdays. This is heaven's courtroom verdict being read over your life. This is the Almighty Judge slamming his gavel and declaring, the season of delay is over. The verdict is in. Breakthrough is yours. For how many years have you been waiting? 20, 30, 40? How many decades have you watched others walk into their promised land while you sat in the wilderness, eating the same bitter bread of disappointment? You've been faithful. You've been patient. You've been praying until your knees wore grooves in the carpet beside your bed, and still, nothing. But September 23rd is heaven drawing a blood-red line in the sand of your life and thundering, this far and no further. Joel 2:25 promises, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. Not some of the years, not a portion, all of them. Every tear, every betrayal, every closed door, every unanswered prayer. September 23rd is your restoration decree signed in the courts of heaven. You feel that? That trembling in your chest? That's not anxiety, that's recognition. Your spirit knows what's coming before your mind can comprehend it. Right now, I need you to understand something that will shatter every doubt. You didn't miss your moment. Your moment was preserved. Like a bottle of wine aging in heaven's cellar, getting more valuable, more potent, more powerful with every passing year. While you thought God forgot about you, He was actually protecting your blessing from premature release. Isaiah 43:19 roars, Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth, do you not perceive it? September 23rd is when it springs forth. When the underground river of blessing you couldn't see suddenly bursts through the surface and floods your life. Can you hear it? The sound of chains snapping, the groaning of iron doors swinging open on rusted hinges, the roar of rivers overflowing their banks. That's the sound of September 23rd approaching your life like a freight train you cannot stop. But I know what you're thinking. I'm too old for breakthroughs. I'm in my 70s, my 80s. My time has passed. Stop. That is hell's most vicious lie. Moses was 80 when he split the Red Sea. Sarah was 90 when she birthed nations. Your wrinkles are not disqualification, they're your credentials. This is not superstition. This is covenant. September 23rd is your Exodus moment. Your Red Sea is parting. Your Pharaoh is drowning. Your promised land is 3 steps away. Type 23 inches the comments right now. Not tomorrow, not when you finish the video. Right now. That number is your prophetic activation code. It's your agreement with heaven that says, I receive my unstoppable breakthrough. But here's the question that will determine everything. When your breakthrough arrives on September 23rd, and it will arrive. Will you have the courage to walk through the door? Chosen one, what I'm about to reveal will explain why your bank account has been empty while watching fools prosper, why your prayers seem to echo in silence while the corrupt celebrated, why you've worked twice as hard for half as much while the wicked laughed all the way to the bank. September 23rd is the day heaven corrects the imbalance. This isn't just a financial shift, beloved. This is the big transfer, the greatest redistribution of wealth, influence, and authority this nation has seen since the founding fathers signed the Declaration. And you, sitting there in your living room thinking your best days are behind you, you are at the center of it. Listen carefully. Proverbs 13:22 declares, "The wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous." Stored up. Not maybe coming, not if you're lucky. Stored up. Right now, there are bank accounts, properties, businesses, and inheritances that have your spiritual fingerprints all over them. The wicked have been holding them temporarily, but September 23rd is the day of divine foreclosure. You want to know why your journey was so brutal, why the betrayal cut so deep, why your own children turned their backs when you needed them most, why you lost your home, your savings, your dignity. Because God was building something in you that money can't buy: stewardship. Every tear you cried over unpaid bills, that was training. Every night you went to bed hungry while your neighbor bought their third vacation home, that was preparation. Every time you chose integrity when compromise would have been easier, that was your divine MBA in kingdom economics. The greedy hoarders are about to lose their grip. Like Pharaoh watching the Red Sea collapse on his army, they will stand helpless as what they stole flows back to its rightful owners. This is not revenge, chosen one. This is justice. This is Exodus 12:36. The Israelites did as Moses instructed and asked the Egyptians for articles of silver and gold, and so they plundered the Egyptians. September 23rd is your plundering day. But here's what will shock you: this transfer won't come in a trickle. It will come like dominoes. One crack in the wall brings down the fortress. One phone call triggers 10 opportunities. One door opens, and suddenly you're walking through hallways you didn't know existed. The first domino falls September 23rd. Watch how fast the rest collapse. You'll recognize it starting. An unexpected check in the mail. A phone call from someone you haven't heard from in years. A sudden knowing in your spirit that says, "It's happening." Don't doubt it. Don't talk yourself out of it. That's the first domino, and it's designed to test your faith. Because here's the truth that will set you free. Your poverty was never about punishment. It was about preparation for permanent wealth. God couldn't trust the greedy with kingdom resources. But you know what hunger feels like. You know what it means to trust God for your next meal. You won't waste what's coming. You'll multiply it. If you know in your bones that every trial prepared you for this moment, that your scars are actually credentials, that your pain was the price of admission to unprecedented blessing, type these 3 words right now: prepared for more. Because, beloved, September 23rd doesn't just transfer money, it transfers authority. And the question burning in heaven right now is this: are you ready to carry what your suffering qualified you to receive? You know what breaks my heart? It's watching chosen ones like you, 70, 80, even 90 years old, still believing the lie that your best days are behind you. Still carrying shame about the wrinkles on your face when those lines are actually heaven's autograph on a masterpiece. Listen to me. Every scar you carry is not evidence of failure. It's your resume. For September 23rd. Think about Joseph. Genesis 41 tells us he went from a prison cell to Pharaoh's palace in less than 24 hours. One morning he was wearing chains. By sunset, he was wearing a signet ring. But here's what most people miss. Joseph was 30 years old when he finally stepped into his destiny. 30 years of betrayal, slavery, and false accusations. 30 years of wondering if God had forgotten him. You've waited longer than Joseph. You've endured more than he ever did. And if God elevated him in a single day, what makes you think he can't do the same for you on September 23rd? The overlooked will be seen. The underestimated will be lifted. The hidden will be revealed. I'm talking to the grandmother in Queens who raised 5 children alone after her husband walked out. You think those sleepless nights meant nothing? You think those tears you cried in secret were wasted? No, beloved. Every sacrifice was recorded. Every prayer was bottled. And September 23rd is the day heaven opens the vault. I'm talking to the grandfather in the Bronx who worked 43 years at the same factory and got a handshake and a plastic watch at retirement. You think your faithfulness went unnoticed. You think God doesn't see how you showed up every single day when quitting would have been easier. Your consistency wasn't invisible. It was investment, and the dividends are about to pay out. You are not forgotten. You are not bypassed. You are not excluded. You are chosen. But here's what the enemy has been whispering in your ear for decades. You're too old. You're too broken. You've made too many mistakes. God's moved on to younger people with bigger platforms and cleaner pasts. That's not God's voice. That's hell's propaganda. Isaiah 46:4 declares, "Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am he who will sustain you." Did you catch that? Even to your old age. God doesn't retire his warriors when they get Social Security. He promotes them. Because only someone who's walked through fire knows how to carry the flame without getting burned. Your survival is not luck, it's proof. Proof that heaven has preserved you for such a time as this. You didn't just make it through cancer, you were protected. You didn't just survive that heart attack, you were preserved. You didn't just get through your spouse's death, you were prepared. Every battle was training. Every loss was positioning. Every year was preparation for September 23rd. The world sees your age and calls it decline. God sees your age and calls it refinement. The world counts your years and says you're running out of time. Heaven counts your years and says you're running into your finest hour. Now I need you to do something that will shake the foundations of hell. Stand up if you can, put your hand on your chest, and declare out loud, "This is my day of revealing." Say it like you mean it, because September 23rd is the day your identity gets unmasked, your purpose gets unveiled, and your destiny gets activated. But you need to understand what's really happening behind the scenes of this divine appointment. Listen to me carefully, chosen one. What's about to happen on September 23rd won't arrive like a gentle rain. It's coming like a tsunami unleashed by a single drop. You've been praying for breakthrough, but you're expecting it to look like one big moment, one check, one promotion, one miracle that solves everything. But that's not how heaven operates when it's time to flood your life with abundance. The first sign will seem almost insignificant. A text message from someone you haven't heard from in years, an email that slipped through when you weren't looking, a phone call that comes at the oddest time. You might even dismiss it. But don't you dare ignore the small beginnings, because Zechariah 4:10 warns us, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." That one connection will trigger another. That door cracking open will swing another one wide. That blessing will multiply into blessings you can't even count. This is the domino effect, and once it starts, hell itself cannot stop it. Breakthrough will trigger breakthrough. Opportunity will open opportunity. Blessing will multiply blessing. Think about Peter on the water. Matthew 14 tells us he took one step, one single step out of that boat. That's all it took. One act of faith, and suddenly he was doing the impossible, walking on water while 11 men sat frozen in fear. Your September 23rd is that first step. But unlike Peter, who looked down and started to sink, you're going to keep your eyes locked on heaven, and you're going to walk straight into abundance that defies every economic forecast, every doctor's report, every naysayer who said your time had passed. Here's what you need to watch for. Dreams intensifying with vivid clarity, numbers repeating 111, 222, 444, not by coincidence, but by divine orchestration. An unexpected peace settling over your spirit where anxiety used to live. Strangers speaking words that confirm what you've been hearing in your prayer closet. These are not coincidences, beloved. These are heaven's breadcrumbs leading you straight to your destiny. But I must warn you, and this is critical, not everyone in your circle will handle your elevation. Some will celebrate, others will suffocate under the weight of their own jealousy. 1 Corinthians 16:9 says, "A great door for effective work has opened to me, and there are many who oppose me." Friends who stayed close during your struggle will suddenly become distant during your success. Family members who needed you when you were broken will resent you when you're whole. Let them go. Your new season requires new company. This is not cruelty. This is cultivation. God is clearing your garden so the harvest can come in without weeds choking it out. And here's the promise that should make your spirit leap. Once these doors open on September 23rd, they cannot close. This is irreversible. This is permanent. This is the shift that echoes through generations. Your children will inherit what you're walking into. Your grandchildren will benefit from doors you're about to walk through. This isn't just about you surviving, this is about your entire bloodline thriving. So right now, type in the comments, "I accept the domino effect." Seal it, declare it. Watch heaven move. Because the first domino is about to fall, and when it does, there's no stopping what comes next. But chosen one, if you think September 23rd is just about your breakthrough, you've missed the magnitude of what heaven is unleashing. Let me tell you something that's going to shake you to your core. You are not the end point. You are the ignition point. Your personal miracle is the match that lights a generational inferno. Every tear you've cried for the last 40, 50, 60 years, those weren't wasted. They were seeds. Seeds that are about to produce a harvest so massive it will feed generations you'll never meet. Your breakthrough isn't just opening your door, it's blowing the hinges off every door in your bloodline. Think about this. Right now, your grandchildren are watching you. They don't know it yet, but they're waiting to see if God still moves in impossible situations. They're waiting for proof that faith isn't just religion, it's power. And on September 23rd, you become that proof. Malachi 4-6 declares, "He will turn the hearts of the parents to their children, and the hearts of the children to their parents." Do you understand what that means? Your breakthrough restores what divorce destroyed, what distance damaged, what pride poisoned. When heaven moves on September 23rd, reconciliation follows. Phone calls you thought would never come will ring. Apologies you stopped hoping for will arrive. Grandchildren who forgot your face will remember your prayers. But it goes deeper than family, beloved. It goes into your neighborhood, your community, your nation. America is dying for want of seasoned wisdom. This country has chased youth until it's lost its soul. We've worshipped innovation and forgotten foundation. We've celebrated loudness and silenced the voices that actually know something your voice is. But September 23rd is the day the tables turn. The nation that marginalized you will suddenly need you. The culture that dismissed you will desperately seek you. Because when economic systems collapse, when social structures fail, when technology can't save them, they'll remember that there's a generation still standing who knows how to pray mountains into the sea. Your ripple becomes a wave. Your wave becomes a flood. Your flood becomes a movement. You thought you were just surviving your 70s, your 80s, your 90s. But God was actually preparing you to be a spiritual general in the greatest revival this nation has ever seen. The fire you thought had died, it was never dying. It was being banked, stored, concentrated. And on September 23rd, one breath from heaven, and that ember becomes an inferno that ignites cities. Isaiah 46:4 says, "Even to your old age and grey hairs, I am he who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you." God didn't preserve you this long just so you could quietly fade away. He preserved you because America's darkest hour requires her brightest lights. And you, dear warrior, you are that light. This isn't just personal prosperity. This is global prophetic purpose. September 23rd is not just about you. It is heaven's global announcement that the meek are inheriting the earth, the last are becoming first, and the forgotten generation is about to lead the greatest awakening in human history. If you receive this, if you understand that your breakthrough births revival-type legacy right now, because what happens next depends on whether you're willing to let your miracle become a movement. Chosen one, as we come to the end of this sacred moment together, I need you to remember 3 eternal truths that will anchor your soul in the days ahead. First, September 23rd is not just another date, it is your divine appointment with destiny. It is the day heaven declares that your waiting season is over, your breakthrough is here, and your legacy begins now. Second, every trial you've endured, every tear you've cried, every night you've wrestled with doubt, none of it was wasted. It was all preparation. You were being refined in the furnace so you could carry the weight of the glory that's about to be released through you. Third, this breakthrough isn't just about personal blessing, it's about generational transformation. You are the hinge point, the pivot, the one who breaks the cycles and establishes new patterns for everyone connected to your bloodline. But beloved, I need you to hear this with your whole heart. You are not walking this path alone. The God who has brought you this far hasn't abandoned you now. Romans 8:31 promises, if God is for us, who can be against us? He's still working, still moving, still orchestrating every detail of your life with precision and purpose. And beyond God's presence, you have this community. Right here, right now, thousands of believers are standing with you. We see you, we believe for you, we're praying with you. You're not isolated, you're not forgotten. You are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses who understand your journey because they're walking it too. So let me ask you this question and let it settle deep in your spirit. Now that you know September 23rd is your breakthrough day, what are you going to do differently between now and then? Let me pray over you, and I want you to receive this with your whole heart. Almighty God, maker of heaven and earth, I stand in the gap right now for every precious soul who has stayed with us through this word. Father, you see them. You know their names, their struggles, their secret tears, their buried dreams. Tonight, I ask you to place your hand on their shoulders. Let them feel your presence like never before. God, I pray for divine acceleration over their lives. What the enemy stole, restore it sevenfold. What was delayed, release it now. What seemed impossible, make it inevitable. Open doors that no man can shut. Bring opportunities that defy human logic. Pour out blessings so overwhelming that they cannot contain them. Father, heal their bodies, mend their broken hearts, restore their families, multiply their resources, give them clarity of purpose and boldness of spirit. Let September 23rd mark the beginning of their greatest chapter, not their final one. Surround them with divine protection. Send angels to guard their steps. Silence every voice of doubt, fear, and discouragement. Replace anxiety with peace, confusion with clarity, and weariness with supernatural strength. And God, let this breakthrough ripple outward. Let their children rise up and call them blessed. Let their grandchildren see your faithfulness through their testimony. Let their communities be transformed because one person decided to believe you at your word. I seal this prayer with the blood of Jesus, the name above every name, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Let it be done according to your perfect will. Amen. Now, chosen one, I need to hear from you. Drop a comment below telling us what God spoke to your heart during this message. What shifted for you? What are you believing for? Don't hold back. This community wants to celebrate with you and pray with you. And if you know someone who needs this word, someone who's been waiting too long, believing too hard, carrying too much, share this video with them right now. They need to know September 23rd is their day too. They need to know they're not alone. Be the messenger who brings them hope. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, and ring that notification bell. Every week, we're releasing words that will strengthen your faith, ignite your spirit, and remind you that your story isn't over, it's just getting started. Thank you for staying with me through this entire journey. Thank you for opening your heart, for believing when it was hard, for holding on when letting go seemed easier. You are seen, you are valued, you are loved beyond measure. September 23rd is coming, and you, beloved warrior, are about to step into the breakthrough that will echo through eternity. Until we meet again, walk in your authority, rest in His promises, and remember, your best days aren't behind you, they're ahead of you. God bless you mightily. Your breakthrough is here.